Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing my February weekly setup and I decided to switch things up a little bit for the month of February. So if you guys saw my January weekly setup, you will have noticed that I kind of had a little bit more of a structured layout that followed my theme for the month. But for the month of February, I decided to change things around and do a little bit more of a messy weekly layout kind of aesthetic. So this kind of setup is kind of more on the scrapbooky and doodly side of things. And this kind of weekly setup was actually blowing up on Instagram last year. I remember seeing it everywhere and it really looked so nice and I really just had to try it out for myself. Especially since I thought that having such a setup would be more time efficient, and yeah, I decided to just try it out. Another reason why I did it was because I'm currently studying for my final exams in university and I am honestly getting quite anxious and stressed out about it because my finals are in, I think I want to say a month or two, so it's gonna be in April and I am not prepared at all for it. I'm trying my best to study as much as possible, but it's really quite difficult to balance still going to school as well as coming up with YouTube videos as well as setting up my bullet journal. So I decided to dial it down a little bit on my bullet journal this time around by doing slightly quicker spread. I did not want to use my paint at all because I knew that the moment I opened up my paint set, I would spend hours setting up my bullet journal and I just did not have the luxury of time to do that for February till April at least. So I'm still not really sure what I want to do for the rest of the months, but I think I want to tone it down for a little bit and my bullet journal will still be very art heavy, but perhaps I'll try to spend less time setting up my bullet journal so I wouldn't be doing much painting anymore for my bullet journal, at least in the coming months. Anyway, I thought that since I did not have the time to set up my bullet journal, it'll be a good excuse to try something different as well. And seeing this aesthetic on Instagram made me really want to try it out for myself as well. So what better time than now, right? It was really so therapeutic to set up all these spreads because I really love all of my washi tape and my stickers as well as all the pictures that I see on Pinterest and on Unsplash. So I was really happy to be able to take all of them out and just use them. While setting out my weekly spreads, although I didn't rely that heavily on my monthly theme, I still tried to incorporate elements from my monthly setup. So for the month of February, I had two main theme colors, which is a muted green as well as purple color, and hence I decided to use those colors and incorporate those in my weekly setup as well. But for the first week of February, I decided to do this red color theme because the stickers I wanted to use are all a nice muted purple / red kind of color. So I decided to draw mushrooms and leaves, just to mimic the enchanted forest that I set up in my February plan with me. So these weekly spreads are gonna be really heavy on all of the mushrooms and flora as well as swans. For the second week, I decided to use my purple color instead. So I'm using the purple Tombow dual brush marker. I'm using number 553 as well as number 620 for the setup for the second week of February, and I'm also using my Pentel Fude touch pen, and I really love the Pentel Fude touch pen. I had one before and I really love using it. The tip is just amazing. It's a good middle between the Tombow Fudenosiki as well as the Tombow dual brush pens, and I think it's a really good beginner brush pen as well because the control is just so good, but it's not too fine that the words turn out really tiny, if that makes sense. I kind of messed up on the bottom of the page when I tried to letter the words "just keep breathing," and I think that turned out really well because I decided to just paste photos over it to just cover up my mistakes. Don't we all make mistakes in our bullet journal? But I think it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because I really love how the setup looks, and I think it will look so much better than if I just had lettered those words at the bottom of the page. So if you guys are wondering, I got all of these photos from Pinterest as well as Unsplash. Unsplash is such a great platform to look for nice aesthetic photos, and those photos are all copyright free. So they are all free for personal use, at least that's as far as I know. And Pinterest is of course a good platform to look for inspiration. I think I got my swan photo from Pinterest, and what I typed in was just green aesthetic, and this was one of the photos that popped up, and I think it suited my theme so well that I just had to include it. But anyway, this video is kind of like just a more chill, sit back kind of video. I know I'm not explaining what I'm doing so much because I think it's quite self-explanatory. I don't really have to explain much of what I'm doing, but yeah, this is just how it looks, and I really just enjoyed sitting back and not caring so much about how the layout's gonna look like. I really got so much inspiration from Instagram as well. It is definitely not as easy as it looks, and I really had some trouble coming up with how much spacing I wanted to give and what kind of layout I wanted. So really props to the people who do this, because this is beautiful, and to make it look good and still neat is really a feat. So I really enjoyed doing it. I enjoy using all of my stickers. I mainly got a lot of the stickers from Tito and Jot, and I've been loving them as well. They fit my theme so perfectly. And oh my goodness, I am so sorry I did not include the rest of the setup process for this week, but my phone ran out of storage in the middle of me setting up the spread, and I only realized it after I finished setting up the spread, so that's just really great. I love that for myself. But yeah, I really enjoy this kind of weekly setup. I think it offers so much more flexibility to setting up the weekly spreads, because definitely there are days where it's kind of more chill, there are like less things to do, and there will also be some days that are a little bit more hectic. So I think having this kind of weekly layout is really good because it allows that flexibility for giving more space to days that require it more and less space to days that require less, if that makes sense. I thought that that was pretty good and enjoyed this aspect of this weekly setup. And yeah, I think it's really cute. I love it so much. On a side note, I can't believe it's already in the middle of February. Like, I thought I was just setting out my bullet journal for 2021, and suddenly we are in the middle of the second month of the year, and I'm still not really sure where the time is going to. But honestly, I'm glad I'm not complaining, because I can't wait to get out of university. I can't wait to graduate and to not have to worry about exams anymore. Do you guys feel like the days are just passing by so quickly as well? Let me know in the comments below, because I really hope that I'm not the only one that feels like the days are just falling through my fingers. But anyway, I am already looking forward to my March setup. I always have that tendency ever since I started bullet journaling this year to look forward to the next month, just because I can't wait to start a new theme. So even though I really enjoyed the February theme, I'm already looking forward to March. I definitely will miss the February theme though. So for the last week of February, I am just keeping it simple and just doing the same mushroom doodles as usual. But yeah, I decided to draw a swan as well, just to let it begin and end with a swan drawing, just to bring a good close to the entire theme for February. And I really enjoyed this swan drawing. I think it turned out much nicer than I was expecting it to be, because when I first started doing the line drawing, it just seemed a little off, but I think with the shading it turned out really good. Anyway, I am just doing a little bit of quotes here and there, and also writing down the song that I've been listening to recently. I love the song, it's so catchy and it just makes me feel so happy, so I just had to write it down. I think this is another reason why I really like this kind of weekly setup, because I can just write down my music whenever I feel like it, you know, like just be able to write down to remember the music that I've been listening to that week, as opposed to coming out with a music playlist right at the start of the month. I think this allows for more flexibility to just write down songs that I've been listening to, quotes that I really enjoyed in the middle of the month. I'm just finishing up with a couple of mushroom doodles. Again, I hope you guys are not sick of it by now. And I'm finally done with my 4 weekly setups. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!